Good evening. Good evening, folks. It's your bro, Rich here again. Today, this video is now an extended video on the Ford GT. Today, I am still on the first gen Ford GT from 2005 to 2006. And today, I'm still on the next part, which is the Heritage Edition. So I'm on the first gen. So I'm still on the Heritage Edition. Was doing the U.S. sales in world production totals. So let's do it. So we're on Heritage. So Heritage. I'll just for Heritage Edition. So Ford produced a total of 346. Well, 350 if you run up. Heritage editions. So Heritage Editions. Editions. Recognizable. I'll just talk normally. So recognizable by the Gulf oil inspired by the Gulf oil can't even talk by the Gulf oil inspired livery. This livery is an honor of the back-to-back. So back-to-back wins of Ford so back-to-back wins of Ford at the 1968 and 1969 24 hours Le Mans by the GT40 Mark 1. So by the GT40 Mark 1 in the mid-late 60s, something like that. I don't know, but something like that. Anyways, now I got the U.S. sales and world production totals from 2004 to 2006. So from 2004 to 2006. Yeah. And so far we got from the years of the reported U.S. sales from 2005 to 2006. I don't know why they don't have it for 2004, but oh well. Anyways, let's do it. So, for 2005, in January, they had 7, February 4, March 44, so March 44, March 44, April 70, May 107, so May 117, June 100, June 150, July 91, August 113, September, so August 113, so 113, so August 113, September 176, September 176, October 165, say October 165, November 157, and December 208, with a total of 1,302 in production. In production, that was 2027 of those cars. Imagine what it would be like if it was that year, 2027. It would be crazy. I'll be getting up to almost 21 years old at that year, 2027. That would be just crazy. During like the mid late 20s. Oh God, Lord, God damn, sorry. It's like somewhere like early mid 20s, something like that. I don't know. Say it's production 2027. Kind of sounds odd when I say that. Kind of sounds like it's the year 2027, but we still got like at least 1.5 years, or maybe more or less. I don't know, till that year 2027. God knows what's gonna happen for that year. No clue at all, but at some point we'll find out. Say 2027, and next we got is 2006. So January. So they made a lot more than what they did previously, apart from December though, which they made a little bit less, but well. So, and September as well. And October. And so yeah, let's do it. Hello. Ow. Ow, God. Ow, God. Apologies for this, it's just my eyes are stinging so bad. So I'm having to do that sometimes just to ease the pain, because it just hurts so much when I do that. Okay, so next is 2006. So January they did. So January they did 157. February 194. March 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 200 March 204. So March 204. April 157. May 178. So April 157. I'll take a deep breath and breathe out. One time. We'll do it just in case. One more. Breathe in and breathe out. There we go. So, in 2006, um, they produced they produced in January 157. So January 157. February 194. March 2 March March 200 so March 204. So March 204. So 204. April 157. May 178. Say May 178. June 185. So June 185. July 147. August 143. September. So August 143. September 133. October 102. So October 102. November 260. November 261. And December 58. bringing a total of for 2000, bringing a total for 2006 up to 1919. So that's one. So that's 1,000. So that's 1,919 of those cars, bringing a grand total of 3,200. So 3,221 cars in total as a grand total. Now we get production. In 2005, they sold 2,020. So 2027. Say 2027. So that's 2005 and 2006. They sold 2,000. They sold 2011 of those cars. God, imagine going back to 2011. What a cool year that was. Just brilliant for different films, cars, even music. Like they were just brilliant. 2011 was just brilliant back at that time. So 2006, they sold in production 2000. So 2011. So 2011. So 2011 of those cars, bringing a total of 4,000. So 4,038 of those cars. So 4,038 of those cars. Next is sales and marketing. So there's not much for this anyway, but let's do it. Here we go. When the GT was first announced, the demand outpaced supply. So the demand outpaced supply, and the cars initially sold for premium prices. The first private sale of Ford's new mid-engine supercar, supercar was completed on August 4th, 2004, when former Microsoft executive John Shirley born April 12th, 1938, age 87, from the city of San Diego, on the Pacific coast of SoCal or Southern California, adjacent to the Mexico-U.S. border. A little bit about that. It's the eighth most populous city in the U.S. and the second most populous city in California. With a population of over 1.4 million, while the San Diego metropolitan area with over 3.3 million residents is the 18th largest metropolitan area in the nation. San Diego's the county seat of San Diego, or SD County. It's known for its mild Mediterranean climate, extensive beaches and parks, long association with the U.S. Navy, and recent emergence as a wireless electronics, healthcare, and biotechnology or biotech development center. So for those who don't know who John Shirley is, he was born April 12th, 1938, age 87, from San Diego, California. So his full name is John A. Shirley, who's a former president, a chief operating officer, and director of the Microsoft Corporation. He's also a collector of both vintage cars, and modern art. Anyways, back to the GT. The first private, the first private, the first private sale of Ford's new mid-motor supercar, or miniature sports car, supercar, whatever you want to call it, was completed on August 4th. so August so so August 4th, 2004, when former Microsoft executive John Shirley took delivery of his Midnight Blue 2005 Ford GT. He earned the right to purchase the first production GT, chassis number 10. So chassis number 10. Hold up. at a charity auction at the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance auction at Pebble Beach, California. After bidding over $557,000. That's a lot. A few other early cars sold for as much as $100,000, so $100,000 premium over the suggested suggested retail price of $140,000. Well, 139,900. So 139,900. So 139. So 139,995. I just ran up to 140,000. Optional equipment. So legit felt that one. So optional equipment available included a McIntosh. I can't pronounce it correctly. It's spelled McLnTosh. Can't even talk properly. I'm just super tired. So optional equipment available included a McIntosh sound system, racing stripes painted calipers, painted brake calipers, and BBS forged aluminum wheels, adding $13,500 to the MSRP, manufacturer state retail price. Next is both the performance and engineering. The GT features features many technologies. So the GT features many technologies unique at its time, including a super plastic formed frame, aluminum body, so aluminum body panels, so aluminum body. I can't talk. aluminum body panels, roll bonded floor panels. So roll bonded floor panels, friction stir friction friction stir welded center tunnel or center console or whatever the heck you want to call it, covered by a hold on, wait. So a friction stir welded center tunnel covered by a magnesium center console. Sorry, I just got that screwed up, so I'm just so tired right now. So covered by a magnesium center console, a ship in a bottle gas tank, capless fuel filler, so capless uh, fuel fuel filler system or gas filler system, one piece panels and an one piece panels and an aluminum engine cover with a one piece carbon fiber um, inner panel. So inner panel brakes are four piston aluminum Brembo calipers with cross drilled and vented rotors at all four corners. When the rear canopy is open, so when it's opened, the rear suspension, both the rear suspension components and the motor are both, and the motor, the V8 motor, are both visible. Speaking of the V8, we're on it now. So the 5, ugh, I can't even talk. So the 5.4 liter, um, 5.4 liter, longitudinally rear-mounted modular V8 motors, and all aluminum alloy motor with an Eaton 2300, so an Eaton 2.3 liter, uh, with an Eaton 2.3 liter Lysham, so with an Eaton 2.3 liter Lysham, I can't even pronounce it, screw type supercharger. So single screw type, supercharger. It features also a forged rotating assembly, housed housed in an housed in an aluminum engine block. So in an aluminum engine block designed specifically designed specifically designed specifically for the car. Designed specifically for the car. A dry sump oiling system. So a dry sump oiling system is employed, allowing the motor to sit low in the car's frame. The dual overhead cam 4 valve. So the DOHC 4 valves per cylinder headers are revised. So are revision. So there are a revision of the 2000 Mustang SVT. So the 2000 SVT Cobra R. So the 2000 SVT Cobra R Mustang. Cylinder heads with slightly increased wall casting thickness in the exhaust port. So wall casting thickness and wall casting thickness in the exhaust port. The camshafts have unique specifications with both more lift and duration than those found in the Shelby GT500 Mustang. So than those found in the GT500 Mustang. Say in the GT500 Mustang, power output is at 6,500 RPM. 6,500 RPM. 550 horsepower. So 550 horsepower. That's the same as a 2014 Cayenne Turbo S. Now it isn't even made until like 10 or so years later. And the same as Brian O'Connor's Skyline from Fast 4 2009. And that wasn't even made, and that wasn't even released until like 4 years later, after the GT was even out. Man, oh man. And it's made and like 2 less horsepower than the Valentino Balboni edition of the Gallardo LP550 LP. So it's like 2 horsepower less, well, somewhat the same as a rear-wheel drive Gallardo LP550-2 VB edition. So VB is short for Valentino Balboni, and that was all by Lamborghini, even though it's built by Audi because Audi owned Lambo, but it's still Lambo pretty much. Anyways, so the camshafts have unique specs with both more lift and duration than those found in the Shelby GT500 Mustang. So Shelby GT500 Mustang power output is at 6,500 RPM, 550 horsepower. 550 horsepower, and at 4,500 RPM. So at 4,500 RPM, 500 pound-feet, 678 will run up to like 680 newton meters of torque. That's at 4,500 RPM. A Ricardo 6-speed manuals fitted, featuring a helical LSD differential. Car and driver tested the GT. So Car and Driver magazine tested the GT in January 2000. So January 2004 to January 2004, and recorded an acceleration time of 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds. Just pretty good. Now we got performance. So top speed was 205 miles an hour, the same as a Porsche Carrera GT, but that's much more expensive, that's much more expensive, more powerful, and a lot more lighter than the Ford GT. And the Carrera GT is just a freaking bomb. It's a landmine on wheels. Literally, just must bite you to death. Has no driving abilities whatsoever. No traction control, ABS, or even stability control. Even like no drivers at all. No airbags even. Like no airbags at all. Seriously, like what the hell? Or I think it might have. I don't really know, but literally, like the deadliest is the Jimbala Mirage GT, which is a more deadlier version of the Carrera GT, and what it's based on. I mean, if you compare both the Jimbala Mirage GT with the Porsche Carrera GT, you would see the difference in like how they look. They will look kind of the same, but a little bit similar, just with some different designing characteristics and details to it, like different front bumper, rear wing, wheels, all that kind of stuff. You would see the difference straight away, and you could tell which one's deadlier, so which one is deadly, or which one's more deadlier than the other one. Like, it's just literally crazy, and literally just tries to kill people. Like, when many people just get in that car, the Carrera GT, and they just sometimes they treat it properly. Other times they treat it as they want to treat it, like crap. Literally just like driving like crazy, and like anywhere killing yourself. Like literally, there's many people who get injured and even killed. Like for example, Jay Leno, he crashed a career GT on a racetrack. I forgot what racetrack it was and what year it was. I think it was 2007, 2008. I can't remember. And the worst one, the most memorable one that we all know of was the one that took the lives of both Paul Walker, so of both Roger Rodas and the man who must the legend himself, Paul Walker. May rest in peace. So we all remember that day, November 30th, 2013, around 3:30 p.m. Both Paul and Roger just passed away. Um, Roger straight away passed away. Like his whole body was mangled under the center console, like under the dash, like under the steering wheel where the pedals were. But Paul was still alive at that moment. But the injuries he sustained were beyond like horrifically bad. Like for those who don't know what injury he sustained and you're new at this, I'll tell you straight away. So he had like soot in his trachea, and he was alive for like a minute or so. But the injuries he sustained were just beyond horrific. Fractured. He suffered a broken jaw, multiple ribbon pelvic fractures, also the jaw, uh, pelvic fractures, so fractures to his pelvis, um, collarbone, ribs, broke his arms, legs, just uh, like I don't know, just like I don't know what to say. I mean, it is still tough. I mean, it's been like somewhat like 11 years since Paul passed away. It's getting up to 12 years um, since he died. Um, Paul, well, getting like somewhat very like nowhere like close to like the day he died. Like oh my god, I can't even. I don't even know how to explain this. Like it's been like difficult, you know, like almost 12 years since he passed. And it is tough, like without Paul Walker with us. I mean, it would be great if we have him back, but unfortunately, it doesn't really happen the way we want it to be. I mean, like, but as I said like many times before in videos, like you have to be careful what you wish for, because whatever you wish for, they have consequences depending on what kind of wish you would go for. It's like actions have consequences. That's the same for wishes. You have to be careful what you wish for, because you never know what kind of tragedies, consequences that your wishes might even have. Sometimes they'll become true. Other times they won't be, depending on what you wish for and what kind of consequences, situations it would have or develop. You always gotta be careful there. So just keep that in mind. Just be careful what you wish for, because you never know you never know what's bound to happen in life. I mean, you never know. All right. Anyway, so all right, goes I. All right, so got completely carried away. So yeah, the camshafts have unique specs with both more lift, both more lift and duration than those found in the Shelby GT500 Mustang. Power output is at 6,500 RPM, 550 horsepower, and at 4,500 RPM, 500 pound feet, 680 newton meters of torque. So at 4,500 RPM, which is pretty good. A 6-speed Recaro, not Recaro, sorry, that's a racing scene company. That's a racing seat company. sorry, a 6-speed Ricardo, named after me almost, manuals fitted with an helical LSD, limited slip differential. Car and driver tested the GT. So car and driver tested the GT in January 2004, and recorded an acceleration time of 0 to 60 in 3 and recorded an acceleration time of 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds. Now we got performance. So top speed was obviously 205 miles an hour, the same as the Courier GT. Quarter mile was dealt with in 11.8 seconds. 0 to 60 was dealt with in 3.8 seconds. That was in like Ford. That was tested. So 0 to 60, 0 to 60 and 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds. So in 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds. So 0 to 60 in 0 to 60 in 3.8 in 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds. Say 3.8 seconds. 0 to 124 in 12.3 seconds. Imagine that was a quarter mile time. So 0 to 120. So 0 to 120. So 0 to 124. So 0 to 124 in 12.3 seconds, and 0 to 186 in 44.3 seconds. So less than 45 seconds to get from 0 to 180. So to get from 0 to 186 miles an hour. Wow, it's just crazy. Anyways, next up we got is fuel consumption. So the US EPA, or the United States Environmental Protection Agency, mileage estimate for the GT is 12 mpg in the US, 20 liters per 100 kilometers. So for important, it's like 14 miles per gallon. So it's important in city driving, and and 19 mpg in the US, 12 liters per 100 kilometers. 23 mpg is important, and in highway cruising. So highway cruising for a combined 14 mpg in the US, 17 liters, 17 liters, so 17 liters per 100 kilometers. That's like for important 17 mpg. Next is a standing mile speed record. So this is gonna be pretty interesting. So let's do it. Modified versions of the GT. Modified versions of the GT have established several speed records, including the standing mile. One modified version, however, broke the record. So broke the record for fastest street legal vehicle. The car used in the car used in the record run is both street legal and registered for road use in the USA, achieving by a highly modified twin turbocharged version. So twin turbo version of the original 5.4 liter V8 at approximately a colossal 2,500 horsepower. That's 1,000 more than a Bugatti Chiron. What? Like, I wonder how the hell did they manage to get that much power from that big of a V8 motor in a Ford GT with twin turbo. I mean, like, what kind of turbos did they even use for this thing? And what other mods did they have? Did they do like fuel tuning or something? ECU, I don't know what, blah 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 blah. What? 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 I don't know how the hell they did that, but they're just, whatever they are just one word, genius. Just brilliant. Like, I don't know how the heck they did that. Like, honestly, just wow. Anyways, achieved by a highly modified twin turbo version. Twin turbo version, twin turbo version, um, of the original 5.4 liter, um, 5.4 liter V8 rated at approximately 2,500 horsepower. So again, 1,000 more than a Bugatti Chiron with a top speed of 310.8 miles an hour. Well, 311 miles an hour, which is like 50 miles an hour or so faster than the Chiron, because the Chiron does 261 with a second key, apparently. So with a top speed of 311 miles an hour at both the Space Florida launch and landing facility. The last but certainly not the very least, before we end it for tonight, is the Ford GTX-1. The GTX, the GTX, the GTX-1, the GTX-1's an aftermarket. So the GTX-1's an aftermarket roadster iteration of the. So the GTX-1's an aftermarket iteration. Take a deep breath and breathe out. Speaking way too fast. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, so the GTX one's an aftermarket roadster iteration. So an aftermarket roadster iteration of the GT introduced by the company at the 2005 SEMA show. The car was built by Mark Gerish. I can't pronounce this. His last name sounds German. It's spelled. I'll just spell it. It's spelled G-E. So it's spelled G. So it's only 7 letters. So it's spelled G. So it's spelled G-E. So Gerisch. Owner of GDG, Gennady Design Group. So Gennady Design Group from Green Bay, so Green Bay, Wisconsin, with assistance from Ford. Kip Ewig, or Kip Ewig. No, wait, sorry. Kip Ewing or Kip Ewing. So Kip Ewing, whatever you want to call it. So first name is spelled K-I-P, say K-I-P, and last name, so first name is spelled K-I-P, sorry, and the last name is spelled E-double, so, so last name is spelled E, so last name is spelled E, so E-W-I-N-G, a development engineer, who's been involved in the development of the GT, and conceived the idea, surfaced the project. The resulting chassis is 10% less stiff, so 10% less stiffer than the standard GT. The design was inspired by the open top GT40, which was conceived in the 60s. The car had a modified motor cover, so engine cover, modified doors with roof portions removed, and a central removable roof bar. So central removable roof bar, so you can like a target top almost. Two roof pieces could be both installed, so both installed and removed when the roof bar was installed, making the car a T-top, short for a target top. A canvas roof panel would be installed when the would be installed when the roof bar was removed. The car had headrests inspired from the Porsche Carrera GT. So from the Carrera GT. My fourth dream car. First, my fourth dream car. My first one was a Ferrari 458 Spider. Second one, R34 GTR. Third, GT3 RS 2012 edition 4.0. And the fourth one was obviously the Carrera GT. So the car had headrests inspired the car had headrests inspired from the Carrera GT. The car received a positive response. It's a positive response at the show, and customers urged Ford, so they begged them to build this version. of the GT. But the end of the production of the GT in the forthcoming year meant that it would be expensive. It would be expensive. So it would be expensive to produce another limited variant of the car. The GTX-1 was offered as a kit car by the body shop, adding an extra 38,000 will run up to nearly $40,000. Excuse me. Round up, it's like $40,000. If you add an extra $2,000 from 38,000, you get $40,000. It's about 40 grand. 40 grand to the price of the standard GT. The involvement of Ford in the process meant that both the warranty and other obligations on the car were unaltered. A total of 100 orders. So a total of 100 orders for the GTX-1 GTX-1 were both received and completed over a 2-year planned production, a 2-year planned production period. These including the exact copies of the SEMA show car. Other mods on the GTX-1 included racing seats, customized interior, new Wellwood brakes, hidden rear bumper, and a maximum power increase to 700 horsepower. That's the same as a GT2 RS, same as a Gumpert Apollo S probably, same as the Aventador as well. Wow. So power output increase to maximum power output increase to 700 horse. So maximum power output increase to 700 horsepower. The GTX1 was featured in various automotive publications. So automotive publications um automotive publications um along with several reviews. Last part, and I'll end it there for tonight. Still, a specialist, a specialist, a specialist Sony X-Plod audio. So a specialist Sony Sony X-Plod, Sony X-Plod, so X-Plod audio system was fitted to the GTX 1, to the GTX 1. All right, so that'll be it for tonight. So for my next GT video will be about the second gen. So it'll be about the second gen GT from 2016. So from 2016 to 20 so from 2016 to 2022. So from 2016 to 2022. So that's gonna be pretty cool. Okay, so that'll be it for tonight. So if you guys like this video, like it. So like it, like it, like and subscribe, Comment down below what you guys think. Hit the notification bell and hit all so you later know when I make brand new uploads. Alright, so I gotta get going to bed. The heck is the time now? If it's 12, I am still gonna be screwed. Oh, thank God. 11:54. Well, 5 minutes till it is 12. Well, 6 minutes roughly. 11:54, 11:54, 11:55, something like that. Alright, so that'll be it for tonight. So if you guys like this video, like and subscribe, comment down below what you guys think. Hit the notification bell and hit all so you later know when I make brand new uploads. Alright, so my next Ford GT video will be about the latest one, the Gen 2 Ford GT from 2016 to 2022. Alright, so that'll be it. I gotta go. I'll see you guys soon. In the next video. But until then, stay safe. So stay safe. Have a great evening, and have a great day tomorrow morning. And I'll see you guys soon in the next video. So take care, folks. So take care, folks. Stay safe out there. So take care, folks. Stay safe out there. And take care, folks. Stay safe out there. So take care, folks. Stay safe out there. And I'll see you guys soon. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.